Well, good morning. Today is Monday, November 20th. It's time for our weekly meeting highlights. Today's about a simple way to stay on track when life gets busy. I attend my meetings on Thursdays, but do my highlights on Mondays. So let's see how I did on the scale last Thursday. I told you, if you watched my daily vlog, I knew it was going to be brutal, but let me see how badly I did. Yeah, I did really bad. I gained 5.2 pounds, but that was for 2 weeks, not to make an excuse, but it wasn't for 1 week, but that would have been really bad for 1 week. It's just as bad for 2 weeks because that's like 2.6 pounds each week I gained. So that's not good. That's just not good. But I have a total loss of 41.6. I am happy to tell you that I have been doing really well since Thursday. I've stayed on track. They don't do blue dots anymore, but I get 27 points a day. I used 27 points on Thursday. I used 15 points on Friday. Saturday, I went to a wedding, and so I did use some of my weeklies. I had a hard time tracking. I really did. Before I went to the wedding, I was at 10 points. And so I had 29 weeklies, and I had what? I had 31 weeklies, rather. I had 31 weeklies. And I probably had still 17. So I had like almost 50 points, which I really don't think I used 50 points at the wedding. And then yesterday I was like around 23 points. So I'm doing really well. We're not going to have a meeting this week because I go to my meetings on Thursdays, and which is Thanksgiving. I have plans for Friday morning, so I won't be able to attend the thing on Friday morning. So I'm going to go, hopefully if I can gain 5.2 pounds in 2 weeks, maybe I can lose 5.2 pounds in 2 weeks. No, I can't. I know I can't. But I'm going to have a loss. I know that because I'm back on track. I'm just really back on track. But anyway, which brings us to our meeting today, which is a simple way to stay on track when life gets busy. My gain was not because my life was busy. My gain was because I was in a funk. I had a lot of issues going on in my life in the last couple months, and unfortunately I turned to food, and I acknowledged where my mistakes were made. And I've acknowledged where my mistakes have made for this past year. And so I'm trying to rectify that. I bought a treadmill, so I'm getting my walking in since I don't walk outside anymore. And especially since I don't walk during the winter. I got my tracking book out. I'm tracking on my phone again. So I'm doing all the things that I need to do, especially during this holiday season, to get me through. But anyway, a simple way to stay on track when life gets busy. Stressing over how to fit everything into life when life gets Okay, we got that out of the way real quick, didn't we? Anyway, stressing over how to fit everything in when life goes from regular busy to total chaos. I have 30 people coming for Thanksgiving this week. I have delegated a lot of the dishes out so that I'm not preparing everything myself, but I'm doing the turkey and the dressing and the potatoes, some of the vegetable. I guess I'm doing a lot, but I've delegated a lot of stuff out. And my cousin Lynn is coming in from Toronto, so I'll have extra help in the kitchen. My sisters get here a little bit earlier anyhow, and my daughter and my daughter-in-laws. So the whole brunt is not on me, but the shopping and all of that stuff is on me. And sometimes it's easy. We eat Thanksgiving early. We eat at 1 o'clock. The reason I do that is because then my kids and the rest of the family can go other places for dinner or dessert. And the football game is on. They can watch the football game. So we always eat like a lunch. So I don't eat a breakfast on Thanksgiving. And thankfully for me, eating at 1 o'clock is my normal time to start eating. So it's not like I'm overly hungry. It's not like I'm super, super hungry. It's just what my body's used to. So I can have a normal Thanksgiving dinner and stay on track as much as I can. I do plan on having dessert. I do plan on having stuffing. I plan on having small portions of everything that I love that I don't have on a daily basis, and just moving on. And then on Friday, get back to it. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, try to eat a little bit under my points so I can save some points for Thursday. And then Friday and the rest of the weekend, kind of limit my portions to kind of make up for Thursday. So it can be done. What you need to do is take a deep breath and repeat. I don't have to do it all. Feel better? Great. Now let's focus on what you can accomplish and how. Like I said, I usually did everything. I did all of the shopping. I got all of the desserts. I did everything. I've just reached an age now. It's just easier to delegate. So some of the desserts my family, my kids are bringing, and then my sisters are bringing vegetables that they're going to cook at their house and then bring it. One of the turkeys we're cooking at Denise's house. I'm making 2 turkeys so that leftovers can go home for people to have sandwiches the next day, because the best part of the turkey is the turkey sandwich the next day. So I'm really looking forward to it. And even though it's going to be a busy week, it's going to be a fun busy for me, at least. But list all of the goal supporting tasks you want to take on this week. Then circle one that's the most important to you and doable, considering what else you have going on. So one of the things they say is meal prep my dinners, go to the gym 3 times, write in my journal. If you can't manage to do the whole list, tweak it. Can you prep just 1 or 3 dinners, or can you focus on just going to the gym 1 time? Like I said, I have a treadmill. I plan on walking on the treadmill. I don't meal prep my meals, but I plan my meals now. Before I was kind of like on the fly. Now I do plan it, what I'm going to have the next day, so I know exactly how many points I have to use. And I'm back writing in my journal. I think that for me, that's 100% improvement on my weight loss. It's just writing in my journal. I'm no more thinking, that looks about an ounce. I measure it out. I weigh it to make sure it is an ounce. That looks like a half a cup. Get out the measuring cups, make sure. A tablespoon of this, no, get the tablespoons out. You got them in the drawer. They're right there. They're real handy. So I've got the right mindset back. So break down that one task into the smallest step possible. Then make a plan for when you'll do each of them and what you might need. So if you want to check the WW app for recipes and make a menu. I don't know if I'm the only one on this. I very rarely find a menu on the WW app that I actually try. They have ingredients that I don't even buy. It's hard. I know they have them like a meal for 2 or something like that, or smaller meals, but most of their meals are for 8 or 12 people. I can freeze the meals, but I don't like to freeze that many meals. I'm not a big freezer person per se. So that kind of, limits me. But I do watch a lot of videos. Kim at A Girl in Her Phone, she always does a lot of preps. Joan at Joan's Point and Plate, Recipes with Roy, Dish with D. There's so many channels out there that they show recipes that are very Weight Watcher friendly, not necessarily using Weight Watcher ingredients, using really everyday ingredients that we normally use in our everyday life, and working them into a plan. And so I have a cookbook. I have a cookbook, a recipe book rather, or whatever you want to call it, from recipes from my favorite channels that I've printed off and that I have them, that I'm going to start using a lot more because they're just easier. They really are. Write a grocery list. I have an app on my phone called To-Do List, and I use that for my grocery list just to remind me, because I always buy the normal stuff that I'm normally going to buy. But if I'm going to try out another recipe that I haven't usually tried, I'll put it on that so I don't forget. But I don't make, per se, a list when I go to the store that I need to get this, I need to go that. I kind of remember it in my mind. As I'm getting older, I try to keep as much as I can in my mind to remember. Because, I am getting older, and a lot of times I forget things. If you watch my videos, you see that sometimes I kind of like, where was I going with that? Type of thing. And then it comes back to me. Maybe not as quick as when I was like 50, but it does eventually come back. So by the time I get done with the shopping, if I forgot something, it usually clicks in my mind. Or sometimes if I'm putting stuff in the trunk of the car, I think, I forgot to get that. Thankful I'm still at the store. I just go back in the store and buy it. Go shopping. Chop veggies, marinate proteins, and prep anything else. I don't really prep a lot of vegetables ahead of time. If I know I want a cucumber, I'll just cut it in half, peel it and eat it right then. To have it in the refrigerator handy doesn't work for me because it goes bad, because maybe I'm not feeling like a cucumber today, and you got to eat a sliced cucumber within so many days. Even celery, even if you keep it in water or something. So for me, it's just better to prep it as I need it. And now that I have the right mindset, it's easier to go in there to grab it like a little piece of a stalk of celery and have like a stalk of celery. Anyway, we love a good to-do list. Okay, we mostly love the thrill of taking a pen and saying done. No, I consider myself organized to a point. I am not like with an organized to-do list, like do this and then you check it off and do that. That is not me. That has never been me. That will never be me. But I have in my mind that tomorrow I need to do this or I need to do that. But life's 4-letter word is always going to be busy. Gee, I thought it was another word that started with a different letter. But anyway, and if you keep adding more to your list without giving yourself any breathing room, the only thing you may end up crossing off is the likelihood you'll ever get anything done. I find that true. Sometimes we overextend ourselves and try to do too much in too little of a time. We have to allot the proper amount of time to get what we want done. And try to set realistic goals. You know, there was a time I could get my whole house clean. I have a cleaner now that does it like in 2.5 hours, and I'm in awe because I remember those days when I could get my house completely cleaned the way she cleans it in 2.5 hours. If I'm going to be truthful, that same amount of work probably takes me 5 or 6 hours today, which is one of the reasons I got a cleaner, because it's like I don't want to spend 5 or 6 hours cleaning my house every week. I just don't. So get a cleaner. So that's what I do. Another thing is my Christmas decorations. When my kids were little, we would go, when Jim got home from work, when he usually got home from work about 5 o'clock, he'd take a shower. We would go and we would look for a Christmas tree. We went to 5 or 6 lots. We always ended up going back to the very first lot, buying the very first tree we ever saw. It's like a tradition. I don't know why, but that's how it was. And then we would go to McDonald's and get McDonald's for dinner. And then the kids would leave out some treats for Jingles, which was the magical elf that used to come and decorate our house. The way I explained it to my children, that they only go every so many blocks because, you know, Jingles is only one elf. He's not like Santa where he can get everywhere. And so he always picks the children that were the best that year, and then he comes and decorates their house. And my sister Mary would call and pretend she was Jingles, and so they would be all excited because Jingles would come. They'd go to bed about 9 o'clock, and then from 9 o'clock until maybe 1 o'clock in the morning, I would decorate my whole house, and it would be like a winter wonderland. I would put the tree up, I'd decorate the windows, I'd have all around the tops of the ceilings, I'd have lights, I'd have the manger out. It was beautiful. It was like a wonderland. It really was like a wonderland. And that was when I could get up and down off of a chair. I didn't have to get a ladder. I could climb up on a chair and get down, get up and get down. And I'd have it all done 3-4 hours. Perfect. And then when they woke up in the morning, all the lights would be lit and they'd be all in awe. And then Jingles would they would go run right away to see if Jingles ate the cookies that they left. You know, like Santa, you leave the cookies. But those days are gone. I start the day after Thanksgiving, and maybe by Sunday night I'm done. And but it's still a Christmas wonderland. It really is. But I realize that I have to prioritize now. And the reason I prioritize is that I really know my limits on things. So that makes it ever better. So then what they tell is to break down the tasks into smaller, even more doable steps, and you'll create something better than your to-do list. A clear roadmap of how you'll start and finish a task with preset stops to fuel up on accomplishment and momentum along the way. True of everything in life, if you have to sometimes just take a step back and realize how far you've come, how far you still need to go, and just acknowledge it, and sometimes just take a breather. You know, sometimes you might, on your weight loss journey, just need to, I took too long of a time off, let me tell you. But I mean, sometimes you might just need to take a week off, let's say. Don't go crazy for that week, but just think, you know, for a week, I'm not going to weigh myself. I'm just going to kind of lay back a little bit, but not go crazy, and then get right back on track. I didn't do that. I didn't follow my own advice. But anyway, maybe it works for other people, but it didn't work for me. You don't have to have a do-it-all to be successful. This journey should lift into your life. This journey should fit into your life, not take it over. Simply deciding what to prioritize and doing that can free up precious time and headspace. I think one of the reasons I was doing so poorly the last couple months is because I was just so consumed with getting a blue dot and so consumed with losing my weight that I gained, and just being so discouraging to myself because I was expecting more than I was ready to accomplish at that point in my life. So I was having a lot of setbacks this summer and in the fall, lots of things going on in my life, and I let that overtake my thinking. And so I took too far of a step back. Looking back, I see where my mistakes are made, and so I'm doing better now. I really am. 3 fast facts. When you stop engaging in your usual healthy habits, it can be so hard to restart them. That's why I say don't ever take longer than a week. I think a week is even long. But if you need a week, take a week. but don't take 2. Because I find for myself that 2 leads into 3, which leads into a month, which leads into 3 months, that leads into 6 months. And it's just not good. It's just not good. So try to realize that sometimes we just need a little tiny little break, but not a long break. Number 2, small doable actions help you stay the course and prevent you from feeling like you have to start from scratch. I have gained so much weight back that I just think I have to start from scratch. And if I would have paid attention earlier on when I was starting to gain my weight, it wouldn't have been so consuming for me, because right now it's all consuming how much I've gained back, because I've gained back over 50 pounds. And it just bothers me. And I know I keep mentioning it, and I know I'm really hard on myself and things like that, but I can't let that consume me, which in the last couple months I was letting it consume me. Now I just go from starting now. And so I still mention the fact that I've gained weight, because sometimes I need to remind myself of it, but I don't need to dwell on it. And so that I'm not dwelling on it as much. So I think that's the reason I'm doing so much better now. And number 3, breaking a task into smaller steps help you believe you can complete it. I know that I'm going to eventually get back to where I was, but I know it's going to take me at least a year, if not longer. And so now, with that realization in my mind that I've got probably a year to lose the 50 pounds I gained, it makes me feel a little bit better. It's a pound a week, very achievable. It's not going to consume my life like it has been. So that's what I think I need to do. But today it was a simple way to stay on track when life gets busy. What are some of the little shortcuts you take to keep your life on track? I'm kind of curious. How did you do on your weight? I really do believe I'm going to have a good loss on my next one. Not probably the 5.2 that I gained, but I'm going to have a really good loss. I'm going to lose at least 2 pounds. And I know I'm probably setting myself up, but it's 2 weeks, a pound a week. I don't think that's an unrealistic goal. So I think that as long as we set realistic goals and find simple ways to stay on track, which my simple way of staying on track is to get back to tracking my food, not being so consumed by my food, because that's what I was. I was consumed by my food. But anyway, I hope I see you on my daily vlog, but I definitely want to see you back here next week, and let me know how you did and what things that you do to keep yourself on track when you're super busy, and what are your plans for Thanksgiving, and how do you plan on staying on track, and all that good stuff. So in the meantime, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Hope to see you back here next week, but check me out on my daily vlog. Talk to you soon.